Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to host this informal meeting of the Competitiveness Ministers here in Riga. Earlier this month in our formal meeting in Brussels, the Member States came to the unambiguous agreements of the major issues for completing the single market in goods and services. And this time we are going to focus on the digital and online aspects. Tomorrow we will also discuss what are the key elements for the digital transformation of the industry and how to improve the business environment for the new digital startups. This will be a great opportunity for the ministers and also for the private sector, for the businesses, to exchange the views and give a substantial input and I guess also a good material for the Commission and forthcoming digital single market strategy. And up to the topic, all our discussions will be also streamlined online, so I do really welcome to follow you.
Can expect to be the digital single market realized?
Good question. When can we expect the single market to be realized? We know that the single market in goods and services does not really work properly up to date, and digital single market is one aspect of that. And we know that only a minor share of all the companies do trade online and do trade cross borders. On the other side, we see that there is the demand from the consumers. For example, 43% of all the Latvian people do purchase their goods and services online, while only 10% trade there. So it takes time, but that's our task now today for the ministers, for the politicians, and also for the businesses to find the ways how to do it faster.
Concretely, what do you expect to achieve today?
Today, I would like to get some material for the discussion, for the discussion and for the Commission to input in the digital single market. But now I think that it's most important to exchange the views of what the best practices are, what the obstacles are to remove them. For example, earlier in the month I also mentioned that we had the discussion of what the key issues for the single market is, and one of the aspects was that digital by default principle should be followed. If we do create new regulation in its impact assessment, we have to analyze also this digital aspect. Would it improve the digital market and businesses or not, or would it create new obstacles for that?
What are the biggest obstacles from your perspective?
Different ones, but for example, the possibility to use the e-signature. We have only minor examples when you can really conclude the cross-border agreements. Up to date, it doesn't really work. If we would manage to create the common system all over Europe, when the businesses could apply for the tenders, where the students could apply for the universities across the borders, and all the countries would really respect and recognize the technology and the system created in the neighboring country. I think it would be a big step already further in creating the digital single market. But that's only one example.
Could you elaborate a bit what would it bring in terms of how much would be the savings, or what would be the benefit for the economy, for the European economy?
I wouldn't calculate now the specific numbers, but I know that the European Parliament has already made the analysis of how the full potential of the digital economy would also be calculated in the real figures. Thank you.